How do you scale your MSP from a one person MSP to a team of people that can ultimately help you grow? Now, in this, I've come up with a ton of material on what I've seen work, but also I just had a tremendously valuable experience over the last couple weeks speaking to hundreds of MSPs that have just either cracked success or just got past it, where they're like, hey, I finally feel like I run an MSP, and I want to share with you guys the tools, the tips, the tricks that I have learned, and also some of the things that I've just seen some of the people in the Discord and our private community do that has worked and has helped them build their business. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether it's sales training, marketing training, or even some business operations. Before I get into today's video, I do want to mention just two quick things. I am going to mention some links. They are down in the video description. If you'd like, head down there. There's a ton of other super helpful links, and I try to swap those links out as often as possible based on what I hear from you guys. If you think I need to make a new video or you'd like to see a link down below, please let me know. And if it helps somebody else, that is truly a win. And number two is, if you haven't already, I would truly appreciate you checking out our podcast called the MSP Heroes Podcast. It is available on all major platforms. But the reason why I say that is, one, you can take the learning on the go. There's a little bit of a delay between YouTube and that just processing, because I try to get YouTube up first. But I would highly recommend checking that out. And if you enjoy it, please, please, please give us a 5-star. It would really mean the world to myself and the team. So let's talk about building and scaling an MSP. And there's a couple things that I'm going to touch on that you might not like, and that's okay. But this is truly what I have seen work. And the number one thing right off the bat that I have seen the most successful MSPs do vastly differently than the guys just starting or girls just starting is they have a super clear vision on what they want, the goals for the business, and what they're looking to get out of the business. Now, in many cases, that is financial goals, right? But they go into it knowing that they want to build an MSP to $3, $4, $5, $10, $15 million, and then sell it down the road to another big provider that wants to buy it, or a private equity or something of that nature. They are incredibly clear on what they want to do and the goals that they have. Truly, the most successful MSP business owners that I see out there know exactly what they want. They know the numbers that they have to hit. They have a time frame in which they want to hit it, and that has dramatically expedited it. And the reason I believe that, and the reason that I've heard from other people, is because they can work their way backwards, right? You don't build, you have to know what the building looks like before you build it, but ultimately you build from the ground up. But you have to have that vision down the road. If you just go around lackadaisical and say, hey, I'm gonna put up this wall today, and then maybe I'll just add a second story, but you don't have a plan on where it's going, you're gonna struggle a lot with this entire process. It truly is. They have a really solid foundation of what they want and how to ultimately go get it. And the how is not so important. They understand that the MSP is going to be their thing that they're building to get to where they want to go, but they have that future goal, that future end in mind, and a time frame attached to it with real metrics that they say, I want to be here, I want to be here, and I want to be here to go build that thing. But they have a very clear vision and goal. Next is going to be they have the foundational knowledge of what they want, or at least they know exactly what they have to take care of right off the bat. Number one, they know that they need to put in standard operating procedures immediately. Like, bar none, they go in, and that is their, hey, I know that I'm going to build this. I need to start building those standard operating procedures, because at some point you're going to want to have a team, and that team is going to be requiring information that you shouldn't have to be the one providing over and over and over again. Next is going to be a tech stack. They know exactly what tech stack they want, right? I cannot tell you, after speaking to just last week the better part of 100 MSP owners, how many of them are like, I wish I put in, I wish I kept track of deals. I wish I kept track of leads. I don't have a CRM. I stumbled my way here. But there was a very clear indication with the ones that are growing much faster. They put in a CRM, a customer relationship manager. They kept on track of the sales and the marketing to grow the business. Yes, it's a lot of work up front, But truly, they knew that they need to make sure that they hit their sales goals in order to meet their growth goals. One of my favorite ones is Go High Level. As always, there is a link down below. I would highly recommend checking it out. But the reason why I say this is because it is a sales and marketing CRM all together. It's also included with our membership, MSP Heroes. There will be a link down below, and you do get a full-blown version of Go High Level included in there. But I say that because they know that it's super important. They're not leveraging their RMM and PSA tool as a CRM, but they also do have a good tech stack, right? You guys already know I absolutely love SuperOps. You could go through here, check out their website, but truly it's a fantastic platform. I'm just an affiliate. I'm also a raving fan. I have yet to see things that I don't like on their platform. They're always getting better. And then last but not least, just part of that tech stack, right? You can use QuickBooks Online. You could use Xero, whatever it is that you prefer, but having a good tech stack and having not only a good tech stack, but also a process to follow through that infinitely better. And last but not least to all of this, they also have financial planning. They know that they need to have a certain number of customers. They know who their customers are going to be, right? With the buyer persona, also linked down below. But truly, more than that, they have finance planning. They're using Xero. They're using finance planning. They're using our pricing masterclass and pricing guides to make sure that they charge appropriately, so that way they can financially plan. Hey, if I know that I want to make X amount of profit, right? Maybe it's net profit or gross profit. Maybe you want to make 20% net profit, right? After cost of goods sold and after expenses, 20% profit. Great. Okay, our number is, I'm just using an arbitrary number, $150 per seat. Okay, now I keep track of who my target customer is, putting them in a system, and now reaching out and closing those deals to then get to my financial goals, to bring in more people, to allow me to go into sales full-time or go into the operations full-time and hiring an appropriate salesperson. But it is truly important to have that. They are not going about this willy-nilly. They know exactly what they have to do and a plan to get there. And even if their plan doesn't work the way that they want it to, they're willing to fail fast and fail hard to then adjust and move the ball forward. Next is going to be a repeatable sales and marketing strategy, right? Ironically enough, it is truly important. Obviously, you guys know I like Go High Level, but you have to have something else more than that. You have to have a repeatable sales and marketing process, whatever it is that works for you. If you're doing SEO, if you're doing cold calling, if you're doing cold outreach, if you are doing networking, warm referrals, LinkedIn ads, whatever it is, you have to make sure that you are implementing a sales and marketing strategy. They know their sales and marketing strategy fairly well. Some of them probably need a little bit of work, but others knew exactly. Hey, when somebody comes in, they go through these 5 steps. Boom. When they're done, they come out and they are now a customer, right? We know where they came in from. We knew how to nurture them. We knew how to bring them in, and boom, they're on to the next. They're in the system through the onboarding team, and now we're making that monthly recurring revenue on them. It truly is important to have some kind of sales process in place, some kind of marketing process in place, and to build the brand, especially if you're focusing on a niche. You want to make sure that you're building a brand that speaks to this niche, something that people can see, something that people can visit, and they can understand who you are, what you do, how you help them, and the solution that you provide with the benefits that they're going to receive. That is truly how you make an incredible impression. You build an incredible brand. You make an easier sales process and an easier marketing process for your entire business just by going through. Having that buyer persona will help tremendously. Next, they are readily looking to just dish work off to the rest of their team. They want to outsource or delegate as fast as possible. If they know that they're not good at it, they are willing to just outsource it to the right person or delegate it to a team member, right? And that delegation doesn't have to always be an internal person. It could be delegating it to a friend, to a colleague, to an expert, right? Or maybe someone that you have that you work with on a retainer basis. But delegating or outsourcing is truly, as soon as you know you're not good at it, on to the next person, right? Pass it off, clearly state what you're looking for, and let the other person take care of it. If you don't, you just can't do everything. It is brutal to try to do everything, and your brain can only do so much work. I love working. I am a workaholic. It's one of my favorite things to do. I also happen to love my business and love what I'm doing. But even still, for somebody that loves what they do, loves what they're building, I cannot do it all. So I have a team. And some of that team is outsourced. Some of that team is now in-house. But as soon as I could bring them on, I brought them on to get them to take over the work. And that brings me to, they are looking to hire their first team members as quickly as possible. But they are looking to figure out who they actually need to hire. Do they need to create the job? Do they need to hire? Do they need to create a role, responsibilities? They need to be able to define what they're actually looking for. So if that's a help desk support technician, level 1, level 2, level 3, only you are going to know. But they know exactly who they need to hire. If they realize that they are struggling in a certain category, if that's sales, they learn sales so that they can somehow and help guide. But as soon as they learn that, boom, they're passing it on almost immediately. If they realize that, hey, I'm halfway decently good at sales, I don't want to hire a salesperson, it might take them a long time to get to where I need them to be, I would rather do the sales myself and hire that level 1, level 2, level 3 technician to take care of some of that day-to-day operations, giving you more time, essentially buying back your time. But it is truly, truly important to go through and do that. But keep in mind, as soon as you bring somebody on, you're going to have to train them and you're going to have to onboard them immediately. And last but not least, building a service delivery system. Yes, we've talked about your CRM, we've talked about your RMM and PSA tool, we've talked about your accounting tool, but you have to make sure that you have a service delivery system that can go through, support the tickets, provide the support, receive the phone calls, clearly communicate with the customer what's going on, how everything is happening, so that way you can have success. If you don't build that service delivery system, the customer doesn't quite fully understand where the money is actually going and if things are getting done. Yes, your RMM and PSA tool is going to take care of a lot of this, but you still have to build it out. You still have to communicate clearly, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, and you're working towards providing them with the best proactive services as possible. And last but not least, before you hit, well, actually, you should be hitting that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, but you have to make sure that you are growing your relationships. We all know referrals are the best type of lead. After you go through this whole process and you learn and you grow and you build the business that you truly, truly love, we have to make sure we are maintaining and building new relationships to the point where we feel comfortable asking for those referrals and learning how to ask for those referrals and identifying who you would like to be referred to are wildly, wildly important, because even if you work super hard, you implement the CRM, you get your RMM tool and PSA tool, you get your accounting tools, you get your tech stack, you know exactly where you want to go. If you are not asking for referrals and consistently trying to make your target clients have the best MSP experience possible, there is the opportunity for them to leave and move on, and that would be awful. You put in too much work to get this far, you still have to grow it. The beginning is the hardest part, but I promise you, if you take what I've mentioned in this video and run with it, you will grow a business, and soon enough you'll have 1 employee and then 2 employees and 5 employees, and you're going to say, wow, I have to make payroll this month, and I have to make sure that all of these people are getting paid and we're building a business. And it's true. You're going to sit back and say, we didn't make it, but I'm pretty darn happy with how far we've come so far, and I'm looking forward to the future. It is the best feeling in the world. It's the most humbling feeling in the world. And I hope that you are lucky enough and you work hard enough and you are almost, you persevere to get to that point to truly succeed. It is amazing. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. I love the heck out of you guys for checking out this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Links down below, by the way. Appreciate that. Podcast 2, MSP Heroes. All right, that's it. Now, I had to plug that at the end. Love you guys. I'm about to head on my 6-ish hour road trip, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.